Hey guys, and welcome back. So let's go ahead and go over to the student orientation page, which you can find underneath the welcome page. If you click on welcome, you should then see student orientation underneath it as it is a sub page. So you want to go through this. I'm not going to go through everything with you. You want to do it on your own, just like we talked about with the welcome page. The first thing here is just going to be introducing you to what an online course is. What does it mean to be in an online course, and just the different sections that you're going to be going over throughout this student orientation. The first thing, I just have an FAQ, really common questions that students ask. One of the biggest ones is, can I work at my own pace? You must follow due dates. So as long as things are turned in based on the due date by midnight is the time that I always use, then you can complete your work as you would like. You can do it all in one night. You can separate it out into days. You can turn it in early. It's up to you. So you can go through that and kind of see what it is or how that will all work. What do you need to complete this course? You need a PC computer, you need internet access, you need Microsoft 2010 or higher, Google Drive, headphones, a flash drive, and there may be some other websites or suggestions that I give you along the way. So go through all those different FAQs. Then you'll see due dates and makeup work. So are there due dates? Of course there are. As we've been talking about, you can look at the pacing calendar here. It's a great way to see the due dates because they're outlined in blue with this little guy here who's saying, don't forget. Most of the time it is on Sunday with the exception for the Labor Day weekend. I'm having it due on Friday before we go into the Labor Day holiday. So that way you can enjoy that full time with your family and friends. Makeup work. So if you're going to be absent, you need to go ahead and do the work ahead of time if you know you're going to be absent. Like maybe, the band is going on a Disney World trip and you know you're going to be going. Go ahead and figure out what those days are. Look at the class and get ahead. Go ahead and get that work done. If you're absent because you're sick, then you want to email me to let me know that you're sick, and I will verify it with the school. I don't get emails about my online students being sick. So I have no idea if you are sick or even not at school unless I go into investigation to see that you aren't. So please make sure that you're just keeping in contact with me. If nothing else, you can just say, Miss Wright, I'm sick. I think I can complete my work on time. But if not, I wanted to let you know. It's a great way to prep not only myself, but prepare you. And then if it comes down to that you need a one-day extension, you let me know way in advance. So I'm going to be willing to help you out. Late work, if you turn anything in late, it is automatic 10 points deducted. So if the due date's on Sunday and you turn it on Monday, it's 10 points off, period. So you need to make sure that you're turning work in time. If you do turn something in late, I also suggest you email me. Communicating. So proper way to communicate with me will be through your SPX student email. So you always want to make sure that you're using that. You will contact myself, A. Wright. Please don't get confused with the other A. Wright that's here at Pius. She's a senior level teacher, so none of you probably know her, but make sure that you are typing in A. Wright, and that's for Ashley Wright. If you type in Ashley, it should come up that way as well. You want to make sure that you use the subject line OCA. That way it goes into my online computer applications folder, and I know that it is from you. Any email that's sent past 7 p.m. will not receive a response till the next day. That's my cutoff time just for myself so that I can enjoy my own time. So again, another reason to be prepared and not to wait till the last minute to do your work. I've given you some good ideas on how to email and what's appropriate. Just like text messaging, emails can come off very, very wrong if you are typing it the way that you're thinking it in your head. So read it out loud. Make sure that it doesn't sound offensive or rude. Make sure, that you've, number one, told me your name. It's always a good idea to address your instructor in the email. Make sure that if you are going to, dispute a grade or you want a revision, that you refer to what you're talking about in the email. And if you're going to talk about your grades, I prefer that you come to me in person. And then if you need some additional help with something, I've just given you some good ideas of websites or places that you can go for extra help. Steps to success. So how to be successful in an online computer applications. Go through, watch these 2 videos on netiquette and look over that. due dates and submitting work. So how do you turn work in? In this student welcome orientation module, you're going to be emailing something to me, Dropboxing something, taking a test, and doing a discussion board, which is all 4 of the things that I'm going to be using all year, all semester long. So you want to make sure you go through here and you know, number 1, how to turn something in, but number 2, how to view feedback, which a lot of students don't know how to do. So make sure you go through this on how to view feedback. I'm going to send some emails on that as well. Rubrics, make sure you know where rubrics are located because that's how you're going to be graded. And then here's your turn in practice. So you're going to click here and go to this website, and it's going to give you a little readiness quiz. It's just going to ask you questions. It's going to let you know if you're prepared to be an online student. And at the end, it's going to give you a score. You want to take a picture or screenshot. There's a print screen button on your keyboard that you can screenshot with, and you're going to turn that into the Dropbox, which is located at the top right. So you're going to take that picture. You're going to click this little button here. Yours will have a plus sign for hand in, and you're going to hand in that score to me so that I can see how you did on that assessment. All right, so going back down, then you'll have a discussion board that's coming up. So you'll want to read through this, what you should have, how those are graded. And then here is your first discussion board. It's an introduce yourself discussion board. So you'll just tell me a little bit about yourself. You'll click here where it says discuss, introduce yourself, and then you'll click create new posts so that you can post it to the discussion board. So you'll want to read through that for all expectations. And then you're also going to be taking a pretest. Notice it doesn't count for a grade. It's a way for me to collect data and see what you know prior to taking the class. So you want to take that, do the best that you can, but don't worry about the final grade. As long as you do the best you can, then that's wonderful. And so that's all you'll see on that page. So the only thing that you didn't see was how to turn in the syllabus, which was email. So that's just going over everything there in the student readiness. Now, going back to our calendar, again, I think it's a good idea to do the welcome on Wednesday. On Thursday, do the student orientation page, that whole page we just looked at, and then the online student readiness quiz. And then on Friday, do your syllabus, your pretest, and your introduce yourself discussion board. And then just make sure it's all due by the 7th. Now, we haven't talked about this completely and how this works. So one thing I want to show you really quickly. So once you start module 1, okay, you're going to click on module 1, and when you get there, okay, and again, if we look at the pacing calendar, module 1 starts on the 8th of Monday. When you get there, I want you to notice this video right here, module 1 explanation. This is a video of me explaining to you how the module works, what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be seeing. You're going to see a video like that on every module page, but you're also going to see a video like that on every projects page, because the module 1 is introducing what you're going to be doing in the module, and the project 1 is going to be introducing what you do in the project. So again, here you're seeing a video of me explaining the project. So make sure you're watching those videos. Now, let's look a little bit more at how the pacing calendar works, and then I'm going to set you free on this video. So on the 8th of Monday, I've told you to do computer components and ops. I've told you to do 6 primary computer components. So when you go back over to Haiku, 6 primary computer components, comps, and you can see module 1, computer components and operations. So those are the 2 things that you saw there. So you're looking at this first main page, module 1, and you're looking at the secondary page, 6 primary. Then my suggestion on Tuesday is to look over the information processing cycle, speed, code, and CL. So let's go see what those are. So information processing cycle, code, and CL, computer language, was what we saw on the calendar. So you would do those. I think we also saw speed was on there. Yep, speed. Looks like that's a little out of order. So you'll do that page as well. Then on Wednesday, my suggestion was to finish off speed and software. So you'll go ahead and finish off speed if you didn't finish, and you'll go over software. And then you'll start your projects. So you'll go to the projects page to see the social networking discussion board and the quiz and the buying a computer project, and the computer devices and discussions board. So you'll see all of those things listed. Now, if that's not making sense to you, make sure that you come by my room. My time is ending on this video, but I wish you all the best of luck, and I'll see you soon.